Let me guess, your back flares up when you go to bend over for a sock, or maybe it gets super tight when you have been sitting for a long time and you go to get up and take those first few steps and it feels like your low back is made of concrete. Or maybe just common daily things always tend to flare your back up. And the scariest part is this pain's been going on for years and nothing you've done has seemed to give you lasting relief. If you have an L4, L5, or L5-S1 herniation or bulge, you're not in pain because your spine is broken. What's happened is your body and brain has gotten stuck in a loop of pain that no one has really explained to you clearly. Over the next few weeks, I'm gonna be mapping out step by step what you need to be doing to heal your chronic low back pain from a herniated or bulging disc in this area. So today, we wanna start with the most important topic, and that is why after all these years, after all this effort, your disc herniation bulge and the pain from it has not healed. Here's the truth most chronic back pain sufferers never hear. Your disc tissue has had time to heal. It's been years, right? And maybe you even still have the herniation or bulge showing up on an MRI. If disc tissues can heal, why do we still have chronic pain? And it's because chronic disc pain is very rarely an actual disc issue, and actually more of a nervous system problem. Your brain gets stuck in what I call protection mode. This is where your low back feels tight, your hips feel tight, rotation, bending, twisting, extending, all these things feel very restricted. And you pair that with fear, with anxiety, with protection and guarding that you're doing to make sure that flare-up doesn't come back. So this tension leads to sensitivity. The tension leads to pain, leads to irritation, a constant guarding, a constant clamping down these muscles, and then you trying to do life with it is a recipe for chronic pain. So the irritation that you are experiencing isn't because you're damaged or you have herniations or bulges, it's because your body and brain have become fearful of moving and using the body the way it used to before you even knew that you had these disc abnormalities. And here's where it gets worse. Every time you experience a pain, a tension, a tightness, a zinger, a stab, a catch, your brain says, oh no, this is dangerous. We can't do this. We must keep protecting. So either the symptoms become worse or they become very random, almost unpredictable. Why can't I do that today, but then tomorrow I can't do it? It's because your body and brain is going in and out of this fear response that you have created over the years. So you're not dealing with a bad disc, you're dealing with a system that has gotten really good at protecting you. So if you don't calm that system down, there's no stretch, there's no exercise, there's nothing that you can do that's gonna get you past that hump of constant tension, constant fear, constant guarding, and creating the symptoms that come from it. And this is exactly why the pain from your herniated bulging disc is not healing. Now I wanna go through 3 very important mistakes that I would say 99% of chronic back pain sufferers make on a daily and weekly basis for their recovery. Mistake number 1 is trying to strengthen your way out of pain. I know that your low back feels weak. I know it feels tight. I know people may have told you,
hey, if you're tight, if you're feeling weak, just strengthen the crap out of your low back and all the pain will go away.
So deadlifts, back extensions, good mornings, all these exercises are really good exercises, but they're bad for a system that is oversensitive and protecting. So what once was a good thing now becomes a trigger for that overprotective system. Mistake number 2 is trying to stretch the pain away. Your body's tight, you're sensitive, you're irritated, and sometimes stretching feels good. But if you look back on how much stretching you do, odds are the relief you get from stretching doesn't last very long. And what's happening is as your body is trying to protect, it is guarding. You are already very stiff and protective of how you move and use your body. Now we're trying to stretch. So you're stretching a system that is trying to guard and protect you. It's not as productive as you trying to lengthen a muscle because it's just tight from overuse. So when applying stretching to this type of issue, it's a very unproductive way of treating chronic back pain, which is why you still feel unstable, very sensitive, and very tight. Mistake number 3 is following random routines. YouTube, Instagram, social media is full of a bunch of quick fixes. Do this for tight hip flexors, do this for chronic low back pain. This one move changed my life forever when it came to my back pain. There's so much content out there and you're grabbing at random things, applying it to a system that isn't ready for that stuff. Even though you might be tapping into gentle exercises or safe things for chronic low back pain or beginner exercise that you should be doing, when it comes to what you're trying to accomplish, none of these things matter. And the only thing you have to understand is calming that system down, allowing this to release naturally is the only way to get out of it. The key thing with exercise routines, it's not about doing more, it's about about finding the right sequence of events that takes your body and brain through the healing process. Let's apply what we are talking about. I'm gonna give you a 60-second release type of technique that you can apply right now. To do this desensitizing exercise, we're gonna lay flat on our back with our knees bent. I would suggest you find a good comfortable mat so the feedback from the floor to your back is a positive one. We wanna find comfort, okay? With your knees bent, you're gonna either put something in between your knees to have some kind of something to squeeze into, or you can just go nothing between your knees and just sit there the way you are. What we're gonna focus on is first taking a few deep breaths into our ribs and into our low back and belly. You can do this by putting your hands on your chest and one hand on your stomach and really feeling the lower rib area, the stomach expanding and not so much your chest. Do this a couple of times, and with every exhale, I want you to really focus on allowing that low back to melt into the ground. From here, I want you to put your hands on the sides of you. So they're gonna be pushing kind of into the ground, just stabilizing yourself a little bit. And what we're gonna do from here is we're going to slowly rock our knees left to right. So you're only moving like 10%. This is a somatic exercise. It is not a stretch. It is not a strengthening type of thing. We're not trying to push into pain. We are simply trying to allow our body to twist or rotate in this way without any guarding or protecting. For some people, 15, 20, 30% is where you start to feel some tension or some sensitivity. So what you want to do is find that very small percentage of movement where your body feels safe, where you can let go of your low back muscles, let go of your hip muscles, and just allow the rotation to happen naturally without any kind of protecting or guarding in the low back. Now, I want you to use your breath as a tool. We're gonna do very, very slow breathing drills where we're going to be breathing in for about 4 to 5 seconds, and we're going to hold that for about 3 seconds and exhaling for about 6 to 8 seconds while we are dropping our knees down left to right. Again, focusing solely on the movement coming from your low back, not your thoracic spine, but actually allowing that low back to twist just a little bit. With the breathing under control, this is signaling to your body and brain that this is safe. We're not holding our breath, we're not stiffening. We're using those exhales to shut down our triggering system, our tension system, so that we can actually relax and get this movement done. What you should be experiencing is a little bit of releasing, a little bit of tension softening. You're not curing your back pain in a couple of minutes, but for the next 60 seconds, I want you to do this exercise 2 to 3 times a day, as much as you'd like really, as long as it's not triggering symptoms, for the next week. The goal is not to drop your knees down to the floor, it's only moving within a relaxed range of motion. With time, this will build and it will improve. Now, I need you to take this part very, very seriously. Remember, your chronic back pain did not come on because your spine is bad, it needs to be fixed, or you're just too far broken. It's because over the years, you've created an operating system that is fearful, that is guarded and overprotective. And unfortunately, it's not something you can just fix with just one simple exercise, which is why over the next few weeks, this series is gonna break down these steps in sequential order that you should be taking your brain and body through to see a complete transformation in the way you feel. This is just week 1. Next week, I'm gonna be covering an actual routine that you can build into your workout routine or your daily routine that expands on this concept and gives you more actionable exercise that you should be doing on a weekly basis. Week 2 or the next video in this series should pop up right here depending on when you are watching this. If you are the type of person who you feel stuck and you don't like to do things on your own, you've been doing it on your own for so long, you just want someone to help you, you can apply for a free relief strategy call with me to see if my hybrid relief method is a good fit for you. Just go to fitnessforbackpain.com/apply or go to the first link you see in the description below. God bless, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next episode.